We thank you wherever you've come from to be here in Manjimup. This is your A main. So we'll get ready to line them up. Give us a text 0428418648 who you believe will be your top three. Who will be your winner? And who will leave Manjimup with a lead in the ODH Mechanical North-South Shootout top three? Cars are getting ready to line up side by side. Our front man out in front, Hayden Norman, won his first race in the Southwest. Hayden Norman got an absolute blind around a pole as Jack Yates tries and fights with Shane Wild, one driver getting an absolute horrid start as Jack Barnwell's is back fighting with Wild for that fourth place, but lap number one goes to man Dub Storm and Hayden Norman as we get through turns number 3 and 4 clearly. Barnwell, Wild, Yates lead a bunch of 8 cars at the moment, finding it out for 4th place with James Kempton. So too Ben Norman, Paul Briggs and Jake Williams, all giving point to car number 2 of Shane Wild, as Barnwell's been able to clear away from Shane Wild for that 4th spot. Up the hill that they roll up. Car number 6 of Hayden Norman, who's led the first 3 laps of that, leading the last 54 laps in feature race competition. Hayden Norman has not been headed. Very impressive stat there for the man Dub Storman. 4 gives chase from Lenny Bates, with our first 4 laps gone without a hitch at the moment. Right now, it's still the place for 4th place, where you've got to keep your eyes on between Barnwell and Shane Wild. Jack Waits runs in 6. Then it's James Kempton, Ben Norman. Then 8-car tussle for 4th place that was transpiring. Now is a fantastic side-by-side battle for 2nd place between your local David Fall and Lenny Bates. Bates, like Norman, finished on the podium last night. Bates come home with 2nd place after a nasty rollover in October. Bates has come back with a vengeance and is putting on a show. Unable to make the show and the National Championship this weekend has definitely been one to remember for Lenny Bates. So after 10 laps, well, in fact we've completed 7, we lose our first car. The first car to drop off is Tristan Stroit in 31 out of Esperance. Further back in the field, we've got a great 3-1 battle between Briggs. So too as well Cody Avens and Jake Williams, with 2 college drivers up against Williams, who was impressive last night in the 24 machine. The Vats Fertilizer Services Ford Falcon come home with an impressive 6th place run tonight. Now he's gone back to 11th place. Norman, as he comes across the line, has already got by 2 lap competitors and leads by over 3 seconds from Fall and Lenny Bates. Fall has to be careful through these lap competitors, because right now it'd be better to be Lenny Bates than it is David Fall. It also might be better to be David Fall than it is Hayden Norman right now, as Jamie Simmons is proving a half task for Norman to get by. The gap did close to under 3 seconds, but still, with 10 laps completed, the only blemish at the moment looks like for car number 31 of Cody Avers, as the bonnet again has lifted up on the 31 machine. So our 2nd retiree is now Cody Avens, and unlucky for the 31, that's 2 DNFs in 2 nights. Briggs also sounded like it was a miss as he powered down the front straight. He runs lonesome at the moment in 9th place. In fact, he's just the quickest lap of the race for himself there, with a 21.9. In retrospect for our leaders, 21.2, the quickest lap of the race for Hayden Norman. With 12 complete and 18 still left to run, it's Hayden Norman who leads by over 3 seconds. 2nd is David Fall, and Lenny Bates is trailing behind. 4th place is still a lung buster between Shane Wild and Jack Barnwell. Barnwell holds on to the top side of that one. Then there's another great battle from 6th, 7th and 8th. 3 young guns of the sport. Jack Yates, Ben Norman and Jace Kempton. They run 6th, 7th and 8th at the moment. The Northern Territory looking just to finish a feature race here in the West, having his best run so far over the last 2 weekends, beating current Australia 2 Norman and Jace Kempton. Then it's Paul Briggs, Jake Williams and Zane Humphreys. For Humphreys, whose heat 2nd and 3rd were just horrible, to say the least. He's been able to bounce back, but he's in a battle with McClicklock and Peter Dowie. So a bit of an isolated field with between Humphreys from Efforts, Port Headlands, McClinlock and Geraldton's Peter Dowie. A trueness of how far they've come to be here in Manjimup. Past the line they go. They've completed over half this race. 15 laps without a stoppage so far. And Hayden Norman is on fire. Norman currently your leader. He leads by a long margin. Lenny Bates looking to the inside of car number 10 of David Fall. This battle has been an entertaining. Oh, we look like we may have lost our first driver, as running wide is Jack Bardwell. That elevates all to his lonesome at the moment. Shane Wild in 4th place. Well, he might be under attack from Ben Norman. As we've got a yellow, oh, we've got a big one along the back straight involved in this. Has been Peter Dowie again. So we get set to go green. Norman, Fall, Bates, Wild, and Ben Norman are your top 5 with 12 to go. We're back underway. In round number 3 of the Only Age Mechanical North-South Shootout. Great race at the moment. Looking like it's about to blow up for 3rd places. The Young Guns, and out behind 2 of our Wildly veterans holding on for 3rd and 4th. Meanwhile, David Fall has been able to let loose of Lenny Bates, and it's now time to attack car number 6 and Stormin. Norman holds on at the moment for grim death. David Fall. Both of those two have been able to run away from Lenny Bates, who's in the cusp of a 4-way battle between him, Shane Wild, Ben Norman, and right behind them is Jack Barnwell. We thought Barnwell was slowing down. It's been quite the contrary. He's right up amongst it. He has lost a couple of positions from running at 4th place, but he's behind Norman, Wild, and Lenny Bates. Behind Kempton in 7th is Jake Yates in 8th. And rounding out your top 10 is Paul Briggs and Jake Williams as they come up the hill. 8 laps remaining for Ben Norman. If he does this, it'll be 81 laps. He has led tonight without a hitch. There's smoke coming out of one of the cars at the back of the bus. I think that's Ashton McClinlock at the moment of the 26. A rub to the right rear of the pit stop maintenance car out of Port Hedland. Norman's lead just continues to widen out as the laps come on, as the inquiry flag is coming out. Looks like for car number 26 of McClinlock. Not too sure what that was for, but definitely the inquiry flag going out on our lonesome man in position number 11. So with 6 to go, Norman leads by 1.5 seconds, but this is where it gets interesting. Lap competitors are ahead of him. The first one will be Lance Beaver. Beaver right ahead of our leader. The gap will go for 1.4 seconds with 6 to go. Now with 5 to go, it's 1.7. It actually has stayed the same. David Fall wasn't able to take out any of the gap between himself and our race leader, but it will get interesting. Oh, so we've got a yellow and it's Jack Yates. Jack Yates has slowed on turn number 2. And that is rotten luck for the driver who was running in 8th. Poor Yates, who's been so strong. One more lap before we send him a line again. Norman, Full, Bates, Wild, Ben Norman, Jack Barnwell, Jace Campton, Paul Briggs, Jake Williams, Josh Martinelli, Matt Lowe, Ashton McKitlock, Damien Amato, Ron Pocock, Simmons, Fagan, and Lance Beaver. 18 cars still running in the street stock stampede as we're underway. Full wide for fourth place, and all of a sudden out through the middle has gone Ben Norman for Shane Wild. He's up against the fence, and that is all she wrote for the two. Oh, that is horrible to see for Shane Wild. He was fighting for a podium position. Now the driver looking to get on the podium is Ben Norman. Norman right to the inside of Lenny Bates. There'll be 3 to go. 3 laps left in the straight stock stampede in round number 3. 3 laps left of Manjimup season for 22-23, and the race is for 3rd. So too as well for 5th. It's Bates and Norman. That's Ben Norman. Fight it out for the last spot on the podium for Barnwell as Kempton. It's that coveted 5th spot inside our feature race finishes. White flag out next time by for car number 6 of Hayden Norman. This is lap number 8. He's led consecutively this weekend. 1 more to go, and it'll be a near perfect weekend for Hayden Norman. Last night, his first ever win in the Southwest. As Bates goes around, oh no, yellows have gone on. Yellows have come on. As the checkered was out, and it'll come back in. Green, white checker finish. We'll have to wait for the verdict as Bates has gone around on turn number 2. The cone comes out. Lenny Bates, we wait to see where he goes. The call has been made. Ben Norman goes to the rear of the field.
Okay, so spot, so we should have 6.
Oh, wow. We'll be wanting to ask the question. As he comes to the front, the current Australian number 2. Well, the word with our officials, Lenny Bates will get his spot back. Obviously, it was a very quick discussion that was had as coming straight through was the officials.
No, they're not lap. No way. Because you haven't got a lap back yet. You're still on 1 to go. You've got to go green light checker finish.
I don't know how to do that. Hang on. Make a line up.
So 1 to go. Yep.
Yeah, I've only got 1 call left. It's
So be 1 laps, we will call it. Now it'll be a green white checker finish. So 31 laps will be the call. Can Norman now lead for 82 laps? The lights have gone, flashed. He's got the start that he wanted. As 1 car goes straight to the infield. Oh, that's Ben Norman. That is harmful for the man who was going for a podium position. It will mean He'll end up on the infield. Last lap though for Hayden Norman. And he'll do it convincingly in the end. There's going to be a run for third place at the line between Bates, Barnwell and Kempton. But 2 wins from 2 starts. Storman. Hayden Norman takes the win. What a weekend it's been.
But don't take photo of that yet.
Ashley McClinlock pulls to the infield. But it's been a dream weekend. Last night he takes out the coal miner. Tonight, in his final show at Manjimup, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner, Hayden Norman. It's been a pleasure to bring you our season here at Manjimup. What about a round of applause? Back straight. Stormer by name. He stormed him by nature in tonight's feature. And his second lot of celebratory burnouts and donuts on the last night here at Timber Town for the season. Come on, front straight. Hayden Norman takes the win.
74, 16.
We'll get him up on his roof. We'll do a quick celebration with him. Come join us in the club rooms for presentations. That was a big one. I would say it's been a while for Norman, but in fact it was just 24 hours ago where he took the win.
26.
And Hayden Norman wins it. Paul Briggs with a good finish at 6th. Full Bates Barnwell captain in your top 5. But myself, personally, what a weekend it's been for the ODH Mechanical North-South Shootout. For myself, Morgan Melvin, the entirety of the North-South Shootout crew, along with the Manjimup Speedway, we thank you for ending our season with a bang just like that. Keep up with the Tyrepower Manjimup Speedway Facebook page for all the information about our presentation nights and as well what to expect for season 23-24. From Morgan Melvin, all of us, thank you. Please drive home safely. If you have been drinking, please do not drive home, and we'll see you at a dirt track very shortly.